what it also shows is how far we need to go, because gamification, I think, is a concept. A few years ago, the pharma industry got a hold of it and decided that it was a great way to incentivize continued use of apps, for example. But we're not very good at it. We can't do it on a continual basis. We run out of levels. So again, I think it comes back to your point about partnering. In terms of the actual question on screen as well, I think the other issue is insight. Is customer experience can only be really influenced if you truly understand what is a customer experience. Because I think we have a lot of educated guesses, and we attempt things that, again, to the panel's point, we are not the best at doing. For me, in the last few years, lots and lots of work around patient support tools, especially app-based. And the first reaction from the industry is build an app. I mean, honestly, it seems to be that it's like a first reaction from every senior leader in an app. And actually, when you look around, you realize that an app probably exists at a higher level than you will ever achieve. And it's run by a patient group, for example. But what they're crying out for is investment or partnering or collaboration with a Google or somebody else to help them take it to the next level. And again, it's always this sort of philanthropic dilemma that we want to own it. We want the brand to own that relationship. And sometimes you need to decide that actually there's a bigger picture to be delivered here through digital innovation by working with groups to take what they've got and make it great, rather than do what pharma does almost all the time, which is build something and then it die. And I think most of the companies I've worked for have come to me at some point saying, will you close the 5,000 legacy websites that we've found? They were all amazing projects that a brand manager somewhere thought was a good idea. But they're all now dead or not being managed. And I think it's a good example of a previous gold rush, which was to set up websites. Now I think you're going to find there's a graveyard of apps. There's going to be a graveyard of other technical interactions that the industry has started and then never really finished. So work out the experience, work out the insight, work out if you're best to do it. If you're not, partner. If you are, invest heavily.
I think it's also really interesting to think about that, because like a lot of pharma brands, they're big companies, big conglomerates, and they don't quite have sometimes the flexibility or even the capability that suddenly leading some of those innovations. And then you'll see that innovation come to market, disrupt market, probably eat some market share as well. But then I think what pharma brands can do, monitor and watch that, and then take the decision around, what they do about that growing capability. Is that a trend that's going to continue? Okay, if it is, like, how do you absorb that? And I think completely different industry. But one of my clients in payments, remittances, came in as a disruptor 10 years ago, kind of digitized the industry. It was the digital version of Western Union, but then didn't continue to invest, and their product experience got quite bad. So like when they would acquire customers, the customers would kind of not get what they needed out of the product. So what happened was the incumbents saw the disruption, lost a bit of market share, but then over the 10 years they caught up. And what incumbents have, big incumbents, is that trust element as well, and that counts for a lot. So I think, like, don't freak out if like there's a disruptor in the market. Just I think it's thinking about, again, like how you what's your core focus, and how you build that in to your ecosystem, and how you absorb it, and then how you keep investing in it, and where that innovation growth comes from.